Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am really happy to be here, a little nervous, but mostly I'm excited to be here with Mārtiņš, who, as you will quickly notice, is much smarter than I am. And he is not the moderator, actually, he's the expert. And he has kindly agreed to help me understand something that bothers me from time to time, and that is, why does networking suck so much? And yeah, I said it. It's really a word that can fill you with a sense of dread that, oh no, I have to make small talk all night. And yet, it's something that's treated as essential, especially in our industry. But the reality is, you usually show up to an event, you grab a drink, you make some awkward conversation, ask, what do? You might exchange contacts, repeat. And by the end of the night, you've met a lot of people, but you haven't really met anyone at all. But somehow, you've gotten those contacts, and that counts as a networking success. Now, just to be clear, I'm obviously not talking about the networking here at TehChill. That's great. But in most cases, we've just gotten really good at collecting contacts, but those contacts don't automatically turn into real relationships. Everyone's kind of playing the same game, just pretending that they're not. They're thinking about how they appear to other people, or they're thinking about what can I get out of this person, instead of actually being interested in the other person. And even with all the technology we have today, we've never had more ways to stay connected. Research shows that people report feeling more disconnected than ever. So we want to know, if you meet 50 people in one evening, have you really met anyone? And if connection is the goal of networking, why are we still so bad at creating it? So, from your human behavior background perspective, what are people actually looking for in times like these?
Thank you, Christina. I believe what a nice introduction. And indeed, yes, my name is Mārtiņš Daugulis. I'm a social anthropologist, and I'm very interested in human behavior, how they act. And I want to start maybe giving a bigger picture on grouping together and why it's important. I brought with me one nice picture of tribe, and this is my favorite tribe, Mbuti tribe from Ituri rainforests, which is in Congo Democratic Republican area at a particular moment. And they are symbols for me, which signalizes how all of us people are reacting. In the Mbuti cosmology, if something bad happens, for instance, someone is falling sick, or the hunt is not happening, or investment is not coming to tribe, or something like that, bad things happen. They have a philosophy that at this particular moment, gods just fell asleep. So, because if everything is fine, gods are awake. If something goes bad, gods fell asleep. And when the gods are falling asleep, they are coming together, grouping together, singing songs to wake the gods up. And this philosophy is so beautiful because it symbolizes how we as a human beings acting through different cultures to different times. When issue happens, when we feel some kind of distress, when we feel something not good is happening, we usually need to group together, and when we group together, we are coming up with the different solutions, and we see each other and we give meaning to what is happening. So grouping together is what we really are striving for when we need to get to some real reality, but at the same time, when we are coming together, then it's harsh to be together. We as a people, we want to be in the group, and at the same time, it's a bit tough. So we invent rituals. We invent something we do just to get the reason to be together, but we cannot do that too long because then it's too empty, and then we depressed again, and then again you have to go to psychotherapists, and all the circles back all the time. So we group together, but then the question is what we do in the group to get the meaning, to be with the meaning. And then I'm addressing back to you, in fact, because you have this wonderful experience, research behind you in 27 European countries, considering events and networking. Have you experienced with the empty rituals in the house, with the performative rituals in your everyday agenda?
Absolutely, and honestly, I think we're all guilty of it because as soon as we label something networking, something inside of us shifts. So we start thinking about how we can present this polished version of ourselves. So in a sense, we're performing. We start pitching ourselves, trying to sound very impressive, trying to talk to the right people, and then the energy changes. So we lose our curiosity. And instead of, who is this person, or what can I offer to that person, we start thinking, are they worth my time? What can I get out of them? And then it becomes, everyone is trying to be interesting, but no one is actually interested. And the thing is, we're really good at sensing when that's happening. Like our bullshit detectors go off immediately, and what happens is then we put up a little wall, we become more guarded, and then the connection, which is what we want, becomes that much harder with that wall up. And so what I think is it's not just a social dynamic, though, is it? It's kind of a design problem in the larger sense. Would you agree?
I would totally agree. There's a one strong killer of real exchange during the network, and this is usually the typical phone. Maybe you have felt that when you are speaking with someone and even the phone is in the hand, it kills down the conversation. It becomes very theatrical. And now, in fact, we have research which shows that even the presence of the phone in the real talks gets the focus down, which is very interesting to play around and just to try to put the phone down. But from designing, I believe it's a very interesting notion that there's someone who designs setups like TehChill, there's technical part and chill part, and then we should network, but what we really want. And I also opened up your research that you were doing, and it's very interesting that organizations, they optimize everything to get everything efficient, to get the technology because of technology, to raise the brand loyalty, innovation. But what the people in the survey say, and this is 27 countries all across the Europe, that in fact we are needing purpose, new experiences, engagement, personalization, community, which is like two very far away places. One is trying to doing everything in an efficient way, and we want just to be real and enjoy. And the question is how to link that together.
That is a great question because it seems like networking as we know it now is designed for transactions, but humans are looking for connection. Let me ask you guys something. How many of you have over 1,000 LinkedIn contacts? Yes, that's what I thought. I myself too, that's quite a few. But how many of those people could you actually call today if you really needed help with something? If networking was just about exchanging contacts, which many of us have over 1,000 or more, LinkedIn would have solved this problem of collecting contacts. So please think about that. And with all of these contacts and connections that we get, now we're seeing something that I'd call community fatigue. So there are more communities than ever before, TehChill included, but we have Slack groups, LinkedIn communities, Discords, industry networks, WhatsApp groups. And instead of feeling more inspired and motivated, most people are reporting that now they're really overwhelmed and feeling very unenergized. So I would like to know, have we started overusing the word community? And what's the difference between an actual community and maybe just an audience?
Mm-hmm. It's a great question. In fact, the buzzword approach, it's always, every 3-4 years we have a new buzzwords. Then there is sustainability, then there is a community, and in anthropology we call it witchcraft spelling, because you are making magic with those words and signalizing that you are in the right room, you know the proper language, and then you say the community is very, very important. But what this really means, from the human nature in every community that we have, is one of the basic drivers is that within the group there is still some system where you feel seen, that you kind of matter. And it means that we have type of hierarchies in different societies, communities, tribes, but practically everywhere, there are some moments when we are changing roles, shifting roles, doing so-called carnival stuff, when we can feel each other from other shoes. And the community is real, most probably, if you want to come back. That's a very good point. And if you don't want to go there, then most probably something is organized in a pretty bad way. But well, you have experience with that, with ants, of course. And I'm passing the microphone back. What helps actually these days from the field perspective of yours for people to connect?
So something that we noticed, I don't know if it wasn't explained, sorry. So I work for 27 Names, which is a network of 27 event agencies located all throughout Europe. So I think we have learned a thing or two. And what we do internally for our events, we don't do traditional networking events anymore. We learned really early on that the way that people connect is through solving a problem together, a challenge, just experiencing something together. And I am here with a bunch of lovely talents who are here for a Talent X program. And we don't call it a networking opportunity for them, even though it is, because of course they're exchanging contacts. But they are really put to the test right away. We design things intentionally to sometimes be a bit awkward or out of the comfort zone, like right away we take away cell phones. They're not allowed. We call it a digital detox. We give them some drawing exercises or some experiments that they haven't done before, but we learned, like, even if it's a bit uncomfortable at first, that bonds you faster. You think, like, what the heck was that? But you lived through it together, and immediately you're closer, you're more willing to collaborate, and those are the bonds that we see that last the longest. But that's really hard to measure, isn't it? And so a company wanting to know if their networking event was a success might not be able to measure that. So how would you say we can measure what is a successful networking event? How is connection measured?
I would say why we need to measure connection. But of course, we live in a time when we need to measure like everything. That's a age of counting everything, in fact, because when we count, then we can make a mathematical assumption and then we rationalize that and say, yes, we need to invest here and there. A lot of it is behind the lines. And what is interesting that now we have a type of slogan considering within the science that bring humanity back. Like we had technology, we had Excel tables, we have Excel sheets. There's a lot of numbers now. Now we should bring back what we used to call irrational, because mainly decisions at the end of the day are totally unrational for the people. And if it would be so easy, then you could sell any product, just put it in Excel sheet. It's fine at the end of the time. They're streamed and a lot of money in the marketing, but at the end of the day, still the humans have this irrational part of them. With the amount of data on quantitative side, we should embrace how to measure irrationality of the people. And there is a very direct, methodology for that. Talk to end user. Be with the end user. Use the end user. Be yourself the end user. And this human experience, user experience, it's really on the renaissance moment now. Just for the money people here, it's very interesting that this humanity in the field is becoming a new elite project, because we're going to have, unfortunately, I believe it will be like this, two educational systems. One will be based on artificial intelligence, which teaches mass of people, and then there will be, like in good old-fashioned days when Aristotle and Alexander of Macedonia were going near the beach and learning geometry and speaking about life. And that already happens. You can buy today in Europe very expensive teachers who are just sitting with you face to face and learning and teaching you everything you need. And the mass, of course, that's AI, that's huge numbers, but bringing human back in the house, that's the big deal.
There we go. So that was my question to you or to all of you to think about, especially if you're on the side where you have to report results, possibly. Think about how we're measuring connection, and are we doing that in a way where it's actually built for transactions? You mentioned something about technology, so I wanted to get into that with you. Do you think that technology now has changed the way that we build relationships?
Well, definitely, every technology changes us. If it's there to stick, it will change the way how we are grouping around that. The finest technology, fire. Wonderful. You have a fire, you can cook, you can burn your enemy, you can do wonderful things, make a village around the fireplace. And the same with the technology, of course. The main issue, what is this division? Can technology group you more together, or it pushes you out? And I will drop one very complicated term in this room, which is absolutely non-technical, which is called ostracism. Ostracism is when you push someone out of your society, like pushing out, exclusion. And people suffer from this enormously painfully. Basically, if we are looking on high depression rates, which are going up across the Western society, basically they are connected in some way that you are being pushed out from the community sense. And this is the father of sociology, Emile Durkheim, that described in the book on suicide a couple of 100 years ago, but it's like a manual for these days societies. If technology makes you alone, there will be more probably some issues. If it groups you together, it will be fine and good.
Yeah, for me, like when we're speaking about tech, of course, it's great and we need it. And I think that it can play a really powerful role. And we have to respect it. And like you said, it can ostracize people. But I think that it's great at helping people find each other. When you're going to a big event, I know that on your name tag, you can scan and there's an app that will help you. It will matchmake who you might want to meet. So it can help reduce the randomness. It can help you find people with your shared interests. But that's just the starting point, isn't it? Like the relationship doesn't form because you were told you're a match. It forms in the interactions between the people, and that part will always stay human. And it can enable us to stay in touch after we've met people, which is also really great. But it opens the door, but we can't really force the people to walk through it.
As a key, yeah.
Yes, so we think it's the bridge, but still, we're the ones that need to cross it. For our final thoughts, before we run out of time here, for anyone here that's really interested in building platforms or communities, what is one thing they should remember if they want to help people form real connection?
I believe there's a one, yeah, we can go to the slide, I believe. There's a one graphic from social anthropology I really admire. I always say I'm going to tattoo it on me, but I'm afraid of becoming old, so tattoo will fade away, or you lose the meaning. But one thing to do is this graphic shows that for those who we mark as our people, which is our purpose, to get our people, our tribe together, we use so-called general reciprocity, or we give something more than we are asking back, which is counterintuitive in a pure scale capitalism. Like everything should be symmetrical. I give you this, you give me that. But if we want to mark ourselves as our tribe, that we are together, the basic recommendation would be just give something more without waiting something back. Like more attention, more, I don't know, time, more focus, more resources. Just help in the moment when there's no need, the people are not asking you to help. Just help them. And all of those little details and activities, they bring other people closer to your house, to your tribe, and to your core.
I completely agree, and I really like this give more sentiment, because really you get what you give when it comes to networking. So look, we're 1 minute left, perfect timing. I would encourage any of you who are curious about this EEX, the European Experience Index that he referenced. It is pretty interesting because it's a dual perspective, client side, agency side report, and it reveals some pretty interesting tensions that I hope are just the beginning of sparking conversation on how we can build better experiences for everyone. And from both of us, we really encourage you all to give more, please.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.